Thank you, Anton. Good morning, everyone. Oh, lovely. That's a lovely response. Thank you. It's great to see so many of you here this morning after what I hope has been an enjoyable and an uplifting couple of days where you've had time to reflect and learn and let your hair down a little bit. As you've heard over the past 2 days, the theme of our conference this year is Reflect, Reimagine, Renew. The celebration of IPPN's 25th anniversary as the officially recognised professional network of primary school leaders in Ireland has provided the opportunity to reflect on the achievements of the past, to reimagine how our organisation can continue to respond to and support the needs of over 3,000 member schools, and to renew our commitment to shaping educational policy, practice and priorities into the future. After 25 years of growing from a fledgling organisation into an internationally respected professional network, it is absolutely appropriate that we have spent time reflecting on the achievements of IPPN's founding members and those who came after them. As a school leader, I benefited enormously from the vision and the example of IPPN's first leaders. And it is right that they should be celebrated and that their contribution to the development of school leadership in Ireland should be acknowledged. However, those leadership pioneers would be the first to tell us that we cannot rest on our laurels and that we must always be aware of current and emerging needs. Yesterday, our CEO, Pádraig Clerkin, outlined for you how IPPN is imagining and reimagining itself in response to the ever-changing leadership landscape. He outlined our vision for moving the discourse on school leadership beyond the limited ambition of it being merely sustainable, towards the creation of an environment that would allow it to flourish and thrive. This morning, it is my privilege to move the focus to the third component of our conference theme, Renew. We would not be doing justice to our founding members if we merely celebrated their achievements and stopped there. To properly honour their legacy, IPPN's current leadership has a responsibility to ensure that the foundations so carefully laid down are now underpinned and reinforced, so that as it steps forward into a new phase, IPPN can continue to evolve and to fulfil its mission into the future. Much of the work has been undertaken through a robust process of developing Leading for Impact, Strategic Plan 2026-2030. The plan sets out IPPN's renewed direction and priorities for the coming years and builds on more than 2 decades of growth and impact, responding to the evolving needs of school leadership and the changing context of primary education in Ireland. Sitting here in Killarney this morning, you may well ask, what does a strategic plan have to do with me, a leader dealing with the reality of school life every day? And that's a really good question, because what emerged early in the planning process and was reiterated as we engaged with members and stakeholders was the need for clarity on IPPN's identity. IPPN is widely known and respected, but a degree of confusion has emerged about what IPPN is and is not. This need for clarity led us on a journey of discovery, reflection and engagement over many months. While a certain amount of, let's call it navel gazing or internal reflection was required, it was also essential to look outwards. Input was gathered from a wide range of stakeholders across the education system. Contributions from school leaders through a national survey and regional seminars, dedicated engagements with IPPN staff, board and council members, and 25 one-to-one interviews with external partners such as the Department of Education and Youth, NCSE, NCCA, IJA, the INTO, the National Parents Council, and the Ombudsman for Children, helped to inform and challenge our thinking. This breadth and depth of consultation ensured that IPPN's strategic direction reflects not just the organisation's internal priorities, but the wider context in which leadership operates. Leading for Impact is based on the collective wisdom of school leaders, the considered feedback of respected stakeholders, and aligned with national and international research. So, in answer to the question, what has that got to do with me in my role? This strategy is grounded in the lived experience and practical wisdom of school leaders. And looking to the future, it sets out a shared vision for what leadership in Irish primary education can become. Simply put, Leading for Impact clarifies who we are, what we do, how we do it, and why it is important. It communicates IPPN's purpose, aligns its work, and ensures that IPPN's role is clearly understood by members, stakeholders, and the wider education sector. How often has research confirmed for us that effective school leadership results in effective schools, which in turn leads to improved outcomes for children? In 2020, when Maria Doyle launched the 2021-25 strategic plan, she celebrated the great privilege it is for school leaders and IPPN to shape and influence the future for our children. That privilege endures, and Leading for Impact has been an opportunity for IPPN to develop new vision and mission statements that better reflect our purpose and values today and that point the way to the future. Our renewed vision is empowered school leadership, helping every child to thrive. The quality of a child's experience in primary school is deeply shaped by the leadership of their school. Therefore, we are working towards a future where every school leader is empowered and supported to help all children thrive. And how do we achieve this vision? By creating the conducive conditions of support, communication, and collaboration, the environment in which school leadership is not only sustained, but can flourish and thrive. Our vision and mission are rooted in the founding values of IPPN. IPPN in 2025 retains and honours those values and believes that they are still relevant today and in the future. In this plan, we have restated them to better clarify how they speak to the reality and aspiration of school leadership, how relationships are built, and what ultimately matters most in the work of school leaders. Mishnach. We understand and value the steadfast courage that it takes to lead every day. Takiucht. We recognise that support is fundamental to how we connect and collaborate as a network of school leaders. Spraga. We are inspired by and seek to inspire leadership that positively impacts children, schools, and the communities that they serve. Were we to leave it there, Leading for Impact would merely be an aspirational document. To ensure that our vision and mission become a reality, the plan recognises the reality of the current context in which school leadership is practiced. Through IPPN's own national and international research, we know the reality of school leadership today. While demands have increased, the time, resources, and system supports available have not kept pace. We know that with clarity around the role, time to carry it out, structures to support leadership and a culture of shared leadership, the role is sustainable. We know that there are growing signs of an understanding at system level of what is needed to support and empower school leaders. And it is in this context that IPPN's strategic focus centres on 4 key areas or pillars: supporting for impact, communicating for impact, collaborating for impact, and evolving for impact. Each pillar is supported by clear goals, specific strategic actions, and measurable indicators of progress. What follows is just a flavour of each pillar, and you can read all the finer details in the hard copy of Leading for Impact, which will be available after this morning's keynote with Professor Anne Looney. Supporting for Impact speaks to IPPN as a professional network of school leaders who need support and who support each other. The goals under this pillar outline our ambition to ensure that school leaders continue to have access to quality supports, services, tools and resources that meet their needs and enhance their leadership practice. We must also look to a future where school leadership is thriving and flourishing, and prepare for that time by supporting aspiring and emerging school leaders. I'm happy to share that IPPN will shortly advertise the position of Supports and Services Lead, a role that will greatly assist us in achieving the objectives of Supporting for Impact. Communicating for Impact speaks to the power of the collective wisdom and experience of all our members. By harnessing that knowledge and the professional insight of school leaders, IPPN can continue the work to shape educational policy, practices and priorities. What we have learned is that our advocacy must be targeted, evidence-informed and aligned with our mission. 2 themes have emerged during this strategic planning process: the need to continue and grow the work emanating from the Sustainable Leadership Project, and the need for sustained and continued advocacy in the area of special education needs. IPPN cannot do this work alone, and our 3rd pillar, Collaborating for Impact, looks outside our organisation to nurturing and building key partnerships with stakeholders that will enable us to achieve our strategic objectives. These partnerships are developing both nationally and internationally, and IPPN's approach is one of collaboration, with the ultimate aim of positively impacting outcomes for our children. When IPPN hosts the European School Heads Association Conference here in Killarney in 2027, it will be an opportunity for IPPN and for our education system to showcase Ireland's commitment to supporting and empowering effective school leadership. We look forward to sharing the progress we are making with both European and worldwide school leadership organisations. And this morning, I'm sure you are looking forward to hearing from Professor Looney about the National Convention on Education, which IPPN hopes will also be an opportunity to place a focus on the importance of flourishing leadership at the heart of thriving schools. Our 4th pillar, Evolving for Impact, focuses on our structures, our operations and our governance. 25 years on, IPPN is in a good place, but we cannot be complacent. We must ensure that we have our own house in order with the necessary structures, processes, skill sets and leadership capacity in place to enable us to achieve our mission. We speak about the conducive conditions for leadership. IPPN must now put in place the conducive conditions or critical enablers to deliver successfully on this strategic plan. And they include a robust governance structure, ensuring oversight, transparency, accountability, strong, impactful and empowered organisational leadership, a committed and mission-aligned staff team, the relevant skill set and staff capacity to respond to evolving need, prudent financial management, focused and aligned activity that is evidence-informed, and the organisational and logistical infrastructure to support delivery. It goes without saying that as a not-for-profit organisation, IPPN's strategic objectives and the capacity and resources required to deliver them must always be considered and progressed in the context of the organisation's budgetary position. To summarise, I believe this visual truly captures how Leading for Impact is structured, connected and aligned. Every aspect of our work is underpinned by our core values, Mishnach, Takiacht, Spraga, as relevant today and in the future as they were 25 years ago. Built on and rooted in our values are the 4 strategic pillars: supporting, communicating, collaborating, and evolving for impact. IPPN's focus for delivering on its ambitions for school leadership over the next 5 years. A roof of critical enablers covers and protects IPPN to provide a safe and secure environment in which to carry out the work. As we look up to the mission capstone, we see how IPPN will work towards creating an environment in which school leadership can thrive. And at the very top, the vision flies like a flag, representing a unifying sense of direction and purpose. It is why IPPN exists. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I want to thank every single school leader and stakeholder who contributed to the development of this strategic plan. I want to acknowledge in particular the time, effort and commitment of IPPN's Deputy CEO, Brian O'Doherty, and Roisin Coughlin and her colleagues at Mantra Strategy. It is my privilege, absolutely, it is my privilege to officially launch Leading for Impact Strategic Plan 2026-2030. Let us move forward together as a courageous professional network that supports the current generation of school leaders and that seeks to inspire empowered, flourishing leadership, helping every child to thrive. Gur míle maith.